Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am sharing with you some advanced filming techniques and how to make your videos stand out. Okay guys, so one of the things that you want to start out with is the framing of the shot. So think of yourself, so see the whole shot and think about filling at least 2/3 of the screen with your subject matter. So you'll see here, I've got some space, but I am filling up about 2/3 of the screen here. So there is still room for something here if I need it to have words or to show you something on the side, you'd be able to see that. So make sure that you leave enough room so that you can put words. If you're doing like a cooking channel or something like that, that's also great. So no matter what you're doing, really, your subject matter needs to take up about 2/3 of the screen. Next is to use a tripod. That's going to make your camera stable and you're not going to have a ton of movement. Even if you're doing a vlog style, as much as you can, think about setting your tripod or your gorilla pod and strapping it onto something so you can stand and talk and you can actually use both hands instead of having a lot of movement when you're doing that vlog style. Now obviously if you're going to be walking, then there's, that's not really something you can do. Just narrow it down as much as you can. Try to use a tripod or keep your camera in one spot so that there's not a ton of movement that's unnecessary in your videos. Next is to be sure to use your name in your videos. So say your name somewhere in there. If the channel doesn't already have your name, like mine, I'm obviously Allie, but if you don't already know that or it's not in the name of the channel, then if you're on camera, you want to make sure that you say what your name is so that people can have that personal connection. Those are those little touches that really make your videos stand out and help people to connect with you and bring a little bit closer to you and to make more connection with your audience. The next one is not to zoom in while you're filming. So if I'm sitting here, I wouldn't zoom in or out while the person is speaking, okay? So save that for your edits for later. You can do that while you're editing. You don't need to do that because you're gonna limit yourself. And if you change your mind later, well, you've already blown it because you've got this moving video that you've already shot and you can't do anything about. Next thing is you've got to plan out your transitions so that you have enough footage or B-roll to cover what you're going to use. So you've got to think to yourself, have a shot list so that when you go out and you're filming, you know, okay, I know I've got enough of this. Make sure you film more than you need so that you've got enough to use for your transitions, or even if you change your mind while you're editing, you're like, hey, I've got a little bit longer of this. I'm gonna go ahead and use it because it looks really good. So you gotta plan out those transitions. Don't just, choose some whatever, just go with the flow, or this is all I've got and I'm gonna use it. Not really a good plan. Doesn't really make you look good and professional. Next one is lighting. So this is important because I know you've seen this and I see this all the time, is people film with too much light in the background or like direct sunlight. So they're sitting in front of a window and they've got all this bright light behind them, and what's gonna happen? That's gonna make them look dark. So you don't want to have that. Or if you have a subject matter and not even a person, but just something that you're filming, don't set it in front of a big bright window because you think, oh, this is gonna really brighten it up because it's sitting in front of this window. You wanna make sure that you have that either off to the side or in front, not behind your subject matter. Next thing is in reference to audio. So take a second to listen to your surroundings. Is your neighbor upstairs just now moving in and they're pounding furniture? Or maybe your neighbor is practicing his drums or, his trombone while you're trying to film your videos, or your neighbors are out in the hallway running around, sirens going off like crazy. take a moment and wait and see what that is, because if you're going to have like a person speaking like me and you've got a ton of sound all around you from different places, microphone is going to pick that up, and that is going to be distracting in your videos. So make sure that you're listening to the sounds around you before you start filming. Next is to make sure that you have a little bit of music in there too, to kind of break it up a little bit. If you've got, like, we do this a lot for our travel videos and for our modeling videos on our 2 other channels. We don't use a ton of music here because it doesn't really make any sense if it's educational type video like this. But if you've got something like a travel channel, or even like a cooking educational like that, or modeling channel where we're teaching, you know, different types of modeling, then you'll want to have some music in there. Guys, don't forget to make sure to use copyright free music, and you can do that right here on YouTube, or there's different places to get that, but make sure that you have copyright free music when you're using that in your videos. Guys, these tips are going to make your videos stand out, and I hope that they help you guys out. Let's implement these if you haven't already thought of them. Share some comments down below for me. Make sure you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe.